All right, well, welcome everyone. This is a special edition of Talking Elite Fitness. I'm Tommy Marquez alongside Lauren Kalil. We have two of the captains from the inaugural Tier Cup, Bjorgvin Karl Gudmundsson from Team World and Pat Vellner from Team North America. Guys, thanks so much for joining us today. I know you guys have been going through the motions of getting the team together, prep, everything like that. So just right off the bat, what has the preparation process looked like since you guys have been on site?
Well, we only got in about a one session yesterday. We got briefed in the morning about all of the events, and then we had this discussion about who was going to do what. Like I said yesterday, luckily we had Brent on our team. He brought his computer and his Excel knowledge, and he pretty much had it planned out. I know I'm the captain, but I probably shouldn't be saying this. But, I mean, we got great athletes on the team. It wasn't really going to be any problems, like finding out who was going to do what. And then we did the session at the gym, and I would say it went pretty well. I've done this a couple of times, been in this team format before. So, yeah, I mean, it's probably just going to be a lot of fun, and I feel like we've figured things out by this point, or I hope so.
We're going to get back to Pat and BK in just a second, but first, I want to tell you guys about our partner for all of this weekend's coverage. That's Box Basics, your ultimate online store for cross-training shoes, and in honor of the first ever Tier Wodapalooza SoCal. You guys at home, you listening to this right now, can get a sweet 20% discount off of everything in store. You go to shopboxbasics.com, use the code TEF. Lauren, quick, name a shoe company.
Strike Movement.
They got it. Name
Tier.
another. They got it too.
Reebok.
They got that one too. One more.
Nike.
They got that one too.
Boom, boom, boom.
4 for 4. You're batting 1,000. They got all of the big brands in the space, and you can get some fancy new footwear for your Tootsies from now until September 28th. We're proud to partner with Box Basics. They have excellent customer service, super fast shipping. If you have any issues, you get to talk to a person, not just some robot, and they'll take care of you front to back. So again, if you want to get some new shoes like the new Nike OG Metcon 1s in that OG colorway, or maybe one of the new Tier trainers that's coming out in the Oreo. They got the Tier Wodapalooza SoCal pack dropping. You can go to shopboxbasics.com, click the latest drops, and you can see what's coming down the pipe as well, so you can plan to get that sweet discount as well. And then when you check out and you pick your sneaks, type the code TEF. It'll get you 20% off anything in store now till the end of the month, till September 28th. Again, shopboxbasics.com. Use the code TEF for 20% off.
Help yourself while some great humans help you.
No doubt. That's what this is all about. And thanks again to Box Basics for supporting all of our coverage here at Tier Wodapalooza SoCal. Now, let's get back to Pat and BK. Well, you mentioned the Brent in the Excel spreadsheet. I saw Pat laugh a little bit, obviously with some experience on that side of it. But what does that exactly look like? Because I think people who maybe don't know Brent or haven't spent time around with him in the gym.
I mean, he had a lot of ideas already about like who was going to do what. Well, at this point, I'm pretty good at doing normal CrossFit. So I'll be doing a lot of normal CrossFit.
Yeah.
We have Guy, like he's strong. We'll try to play him as the strong guy of the weekend. But I mean, just like there's a lot of stories throughout the games, like when he brought out the measuring tape, when he had the saddle on his bike in 2018. Like he brings all kinds of measurement stuff with him. And as you could see, like if you watch his like recent Instagram post, like all of the stuff that he brought with him to here. It's like all of those bands and balls. And do you have all that?
I don't know what he's going to do with it all. I don't know what he's going to do with it all. I thought it was he was into some weird stuff you guys were going to find out.
Yeah. I mean, for individual, like what he does on his own time, that's fine. But is that conducive to a team?
Then we'll find out. We'll boost team morale somehow. But I think for that side, like it is valuable to have somebody like that on a team, especially a team full of strong individuals. We have a bit of the opposite situation on our team where I think in general, like our average games finish, say, would be higher than on Team World. So you have a lot of good, well-rounded people, and you can plug people in easily anywhere. So when that's the case, it feels sometimes like everybody's trying to get out of each other's way. And there's a lot of humility in the room, and it's nice to have someone who's willing to take control of the situation and be like, no, look, you're here, you're here, you're here. and we're all really good at just doing what we're told and doing the work. Like that's 90% of the job is like you show up to the gym, you see what's on the board on your app, whatever, and you just do the work. So having somebody who's able to take control of the situation and plan a bit and be like, look, I've done this. This is what I think. Everybody happy with that? Great. And, you know, on our side, we had the workouts. Most of them have been creeping out over the last couple weeks. And so we've had a chance to look at them and digest them a little bit and create like a bit of a knee-jerk idea of who would go where. And then you get the chance to lay out the whole weekend and see if, like, make sure one person's not getting pummeled and, like, you balance it a little bit. But yeah, then yesterday's session was just to kind of make sure that the few events that have real teamwork and synchro and all that stuff, you know, the wheels aren't completely falling off. And then you just have to have a lot of trust that everybody's still pretty fit.
Are you nervous that Brent is not on your team?
No, I know all of his soft spots. I know where to push his buttons.
Okay, so yesterday when we checked in with both of the teams, as you guys were coming up with a game plan, who was going to do which workouts and strategies, there was a very distinct vibe for each group. North America seemed like you guys were a little more, I don't want to say lackadaisical, but very chill. Team World seemed a little bit more serious. Do you guys feel like that emulates the teams as a whole?
I don't know, not really. Were you at the practice or?
I mean, you were chill.
I'm always chill.
But then at the whiteboard meeting, it was very business.
It was very business, that's true. We wanted to use the time as best as we could. And we weren't really sure about the girls, like who was going to do what. I know that it kind of ends up being T on almost all of the workouts. But the other ones are great as well. And I think we just wanted to get this right from the get-go and like not fuck around for too long. Yeah.
Well, did anyone, and this is for both of you guys, did anyone like come out and plant their flag like right away? I think everyone assumes like, you know, Guy's going to go lift, right? Yeah. Like that's going to happen. Unless, I don't know, unless you guys decided otherwise for some reason. But were there any like scenarios where people were like, I want to do this one?
Definitely on our end, yes. Because, as I said, you know, we have some specialists. It would make sense to have Guy lift. It would make sense to have me do a lot of the CrossFit stuff. But we also got, like, huge and powerful athletes, right? I mean, Brent is very powerful. Aniol is crazy strong. So, yeah, to some of the workouts, like, I wanted to not do this. Like, I don't want to sprint on the Echo bike. And I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
I think it's part, like, we had the same kind of vibe. You get certain things, what's nice about team is you get to not do some stuff. So there's areas where you might be like, oh, you know, this one would really hurt, or this is going to be damage control for me if I saw this in an individual context. But I don't have to. I can go, I got Adler. I'll fucking throw him at that one. Awesome. So it is nice. There's a bit of, and you know, I love watching other guys go crush it too. Like I don't need to be the guy out there being the hero. And I think that there's, you know, you do get some events where people, they just know, like they're like, yeah, you know, I know I'm the guy who's going to do the Echo bike or whatever it might be, right? Like, oh, okay, I can see the writing on the wall, and you can see all the eyes in the room kind of look at you, and they're like, you know, that one's got your name on it, right? So. It's cool. I mean, this is what we do, right? Like sometimes it's events that you're like, yeah, I know this one's gonna hurt, but I know this one's got my name on it, and you know that's what I'm here to do, right? So it's cool in a team context because I don't know. There's like this extra added incentive of like, oh, I'm doing it for everybody too, right? And you get like I think they kind of say the highs are higher and the lows are lower, right? Like if you everybody's looking at you to get the job done and you do it, it's awesome, right? Coming across the line, celebrating with the team feels great. So you want to shoulder that burden and do it. But, you know, if mistakes get made and like you were the guy who was supposed to do that thing, it's tough, right? So you got to be ready for those things. And that's what's going to be fun about this competition. You know, the rosters are what they are. Like, I think we've got the, like, leveled, well-rounded roster, and they've got more of the, like, hybrid specialist roster. But in a team context, that can be super beneficial. And competitions are competitions. Like, the workouts aren't easy. Like, and if everybody went through and everybody did everything perfect the whole way, I think our team would win. But that's not exactly how competition goes, right? Like anybody can make mistakes. We were in training yesterday, and there was some hilarious mistakes. And you go, wow, okay, this might be a little hairier than I thought, and get a little nervous. And then you realize like the other team can also make mistakes. If it's hard for us, it's hard for them. And like it's cool to kind of think that a lot of the competition comes down to execution and mistakes and things like that. Like there's no sure things.
Yeah, well, anyone listening, we've talked about this in our show before, and you know your CrossFit history. In the Invitational in 2013, the USA team by far was the higher average finish. They had the top 3 men, they had 2 of the top 3 women, and they lost. They lost to the world team. And we saw that kind of play out in real time where like execution and maybe a little bit of hubris, but one thing I noticed from the North America side, there were a lot of coaches in there, like individual athlete coaches, and it seemed like there was an interesting dynamic of all the coaches just kind of throwing their hats in the ring and just being willing to kind of like flow with that. Was there any discussion around like having people's coaches involved? And because there were a lot of like good high-level coaches with experience there.
Yeah, we spoke about it a bit before we got here because I think, you know, different voices should be louder than other ones. Like, and I think it's no disrespect to anybody, but coming into it, you know, we know Caroline's here, Jeff's coach. We've got Matt Torres here as Dallin's coach. We've got Adam Knifer here as Justin's coach. My coach said, I'm not coming. But
classic.
You're on your own on this one. But the reality is, like, too many cooks in the kitchen is not a good thing, right? And I think if you've got a lot of voices providing a lot of opinions, it's tough. And when you've got a lot of strong athletes, you already have a little bit of that. And that's what I mean. It's nice to have somebody emerge as a clear leader that people can just say, hey, cool, I'm happy to do my role in this and just be a role player. So we are fortunate, frankly. Adam Knifer he was a team athlete for years, won the Affiliate Cup several times, I believe. Like, he's a very experienced team athlete and coach. So he's been super helpful. And frankly, the other coaches have been happy to defer to his expertise in a lot of ways. And so we had people who were happy to go, oh, I'll just be a simulation judge, or like I'll clock time, and like this person's going to do whatever. So we had a lot of people playing different roles, but not necessarily coaching each individual thing. And, you know, in the interest of time in the sessions, we're trying to, like, the big teamwork events are taking up most of the space, but it's like, oh, if you've got to do the weightlifting today, you better go do like a 75% clean and jerk or something, and like go do that in the corner, and like your coach can hang with you and do that and give you a progression. But that doesn't need to be part of the like larger discussion. So we've got some good assets like that. But I mean, people have different team experience. I think probably, I don't know. I think the teams have pretty level experience as far as athletes are concerned on teams. So I don't think there's anybody who's really has an advantage in that respect, and that's going to make it interesting.
One of my favorite parts about having a structure and format of a competition like this is, of course, what we're going to see on the competition floor, but also what we've been seeing behind the scenes on social media, the fun, shit talk banter. Oh. How do you think this format really allows those personalities to come out, and will they be carried onto the competition floor where people are actually like throwing jabs at each other in the middle of a workout?
Probably not in the middle of a workout. As Pat said, I think the workouts are quite hard. I'm not going to be talking on the floor. Like, if you can, then, you know, we'll leave you guys in the dust. But,
take notes, Pat.
But yeah, we'll talk shit in front of the camera. We're all friends, though, so it's not a problem. But it was cool that you started that thing, like, on Instagram. Yeah, I liked it. But yeah, I mean, we'll be talking shit all weekend, that's for sure.
Are there? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I think it like adds a different level of stakes almost personally, because you feel like you just got to back up what you just said, right? Yeah. Like, look, I dominated the press conference yesterday. North America won, World 0. But now we got to back it up on the floor.
What do you have to say to that, Beeks?
Well, now we got to do it on the floor, right? That's not a real point. So if we go out and we start giving up real points, now we got a problem. And I think it's fun. You know, probably the team that's in the lead has an easier time talking shit, right? It's like anything. So I think it's going to make it. We'll see how it develops over the course of the weekend. But the reality, BK, is actually what I was hearing yesterday is the coaching lane beside where the like athletes are competing. Like, let's say you're not doing event 1, you're on the floor, and you have access to the full lane, so you can like walk next to the teams. And I think it's only one lane. So if we're on, say, the outside lane and Team World is on the inside lane, and I can walk right next to your team, you guys have a lot of problems coming your way.
So is there going to be chirping then? And distractions?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like,
are you going to be
if I'm on the floor competing, he's right. I'm probably keeping my mouth shut. I'm saving my wind. But if I'm not on the floor, be shining lights in Guy's eyes while he's trying to lift. It's going to be good.
It's going to be like an episode of Letterkenny. You're just constantly chirping at him.
We'll see how strong their heads are.
You got anything loaded already? You've been like focus grouping some chirps at the other team?
No, we should put a session together today. I think it's better if it's just in the moment, you know?
Yeah. How does this, like maybe this dynamic, because you both have been members of the invitational teams, BK for Team Europe multiple times, even from your first year at the Games in 2014, and Pat on Team Canada. The parallels between the two competitions are natural, right? Because you kind of get these all-star casts. Have there been any adjustments, or how do these compare for you guys so far?
I would say this is like pretty similar. We have more people on the team than at the Invitationals. Wasn't it 6 people? Just 4. It was just 4 people. So we got, twice that. So, well, in 2016, I won those guys in Canada. Remember?
I haven't slept since.
I actually have quite a lot of experience in team competitions. And I also beat him in December.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In Birmingham, right? Yeah.
That's 2, Pat.
Yeah.
And then I took him on my team at Wodapalooza and we got fucking killed. So, I don't know what happened there, but
that's true. So do we have do we know the live count?
We make no difference. It's the rest of the team built around it.
Yeah. Do you know the actual count between you guys in like team competition?
Oh, for team, I don't know, because I would have beat you the year Wodapalooza before with PB&J, and then I would have beat you the next Invitational in Australia. But it's probably even. It could be dead even. This could be the tiebreak.
And that actually brings up something. Are there any bets going on? A little side bet action?
Somebody asked that yesterday. We should probably sort that out. I don't know. We've been busy. We've been busy. We haven't talked too much about it, but
maybe put up an IG poll or something.
That's what Guy said yesterday. It's not a bad idea to just get we could pick something from like a fan vote and just pick one. It's nothing crazy, but something. Go. Yeah, jump off the pier or something like that.
Oh my gosh, that would be awesome.
I didn't know if it was legal or I don't know.
I don't think that stops anyone.
So you beg forgiveness, not permission.
Exactly. The team dynamic with having more athletes here. Obviously, you guys are friends. You've competed with each other for a long time. But there is some exposure to new athletes and new names that are like Anjol's pretty new, at least at the top tier of the sport, pretty well known in Europe and the competitions there. Has there been any pleasant surprises or cool aspects of getting to know one another that has stood out to you, or any athlete personality in particular?
I'm meeting Grace for the first time now. She was at the Games, obviously, but I didn't know her before. I feel like both Anjol and Grace are super hungry. It was their debut at the Games, and now they got invited to this. So I feel like they're willing to, really go deep in order to make us be proud of them. And I feel like, that's a strength over the weekend. I've been to the Games 10 times. I don't get that stressed about a competition like this. I feel like they are a little bit more there's more anticipation in the air, and I feel like that's gonna help them. They're super excited for tonight and the weekend, and it's fun to see that. It reminds me of myself and a decade ago.
Yeah, we don't have they have the rookies on their team. We don't have any, but we've got Emily Rolfe and Dallin have had really strong breakout years, and I think you do see some of that. People's first experience on a stage like this, and I know I think I heard Gracie and a few people never even knew what the Invitational was. So they haven't seen.
You had to have a history lesson with some of them, I'm sure.
Yeah, they haven't seen a format like this, right? So I think that makes it fun. It's new and exciting, and we haven't done something like this in a while, and I think the format's really cool. It's different than the Invitational because you don't have to do everything. It's almost more strategic in that respect. But it's fun to have new people up, and we've been on stages like this for lots of years, and I think they're BK said it right. Like, it's cool to see. It makes you excited again to see it through other people's eyes again. And I think it's really, anything can become normal if you let it. So it's nice to have those experiences and realize and just remember how cool it is what we're doing, and like be like, oh, this is really actually a very fun and unique opportunity, and like let's enjoy it, right?
Knowing that a team format is something fun, unique, different, it allows you to expose yourself in different ways, in many positive ways, but potentially negative ways if individual is the main priority. Do either of you ever have reservations about showing your full deck of cards to the athletes on your team, knowing that later in the season you're going to have to be in lanes competing next to them?
That is definitely, it's a thing, unfortunately. And you get, and even stuff as simple as like, hey, is everybody healthy?
Yeah, exactly.
Like that, like,
Do you
and it's a
ask that
reasonable question.
directly?
Yeah, because it's like, look, I'm not gonna. If you got a shoulder thing, like, let's not have you handstand walk all the time. Like, what do you mean? Like, it makes sense, but people are. You just get so used to being cagey about everything that it like takes a little time to break those walls down and be like, look, we got to work together here for at least a weekend, and then you can go back in your cave and do whatever you want. But it is like tough to break through that, and I think that is a dynamic that's funny. Like, everybody still has this like deeply embedded, like, no, I can't tell you what my run pace is going to be. Like, when it's like, well, I got to keep up to you, dude. Like, yeah, or we're trying to time these machines so we finish together. Like, that's the point. And like, if you just blast it, then that doesn't matter, right? So reminding yourself and everybody else that what the goal is collectively as a team, it takes some undoing. There's some deprogramming that has to go on for sure. And I think in general, some people just are more forthcoming than others based on personality and whatever. I think maybe experience as well. Like, I don't care. I'll tell people.
So have both of you shown all of your cards?
People know, like, I don't have any cards left. What else? What do people not know about, like, how I'm going to compete or whatever, right? Like, there's just, like, I feel like when you've been in it for 10, 12 years, like, they know. But like, it's the younger guys, I think, that are still holding on a little bit. But we'll find out eventually.
Yeah, it's an interesting question. I think first thing that Brent asked us in that meeting yesterday was like, is everyone healthy? It's almost like he wanted to know more about, maybe a little bit, but of course it wasn't about that. But yeah, like Pat said, I think everyone knows everything about me at this point. Like, we all know that Pat just can't swim. And that's just not gonna change. But we are swimming this weekend, so they should be fine. And yeah.
Oh, Pat wants the mic back.
Do you think you guys will win event 1?
I'm not sure.
With that in mind, have all the athletes, like, at least their placements for the first 3 events today, have they been declared? Is that public?
Declared yesterday before 5 p.m.
Okay, and both teams know what the other team is rolling out there? Oh.
No, nobody knows anything. So, yeah, we'll just know on the floor, basically.
Okay, so you guys don't want to share what your event 1 lineup is?
No, not really. Whoa. Do you want to share? Or?
No, but we can make substitutions up to like 5 minutes before.
Oh, really?
You get 2 for the weekend. So
2 total, okay.
And I think it's 5 minutes before is the cutoff.
Can we make a substitution before the last event?
Oh, the captain's one. You guys are going to go...
No. What do you mean? Before? No, you can't. Of course you can't. Because it has to be the captains that do it.
What if a captain gets injured?
Then you got to have one of you out there doing double the work, buddy.
All right.
I mean, you got that one circled. It's like you guys you can talk all the trash you want, but come the end of the week, you guys got a little bit of a dance. That's where I think the bet should go. That's where I think we should see something thrown around on the side. Like, I don't know, even if it's something innocuous, like a nice dinner on someone else, like, I don't know, Pat, if you guys lose, then, Snorri and BK get to go buck wild somewhere.
Take care of my kids for the day or something like that. Give us a break. You can have the kids for the evening and we can have some fun. Yeah. No, I wanted to mention too, for the team thing, like the being healthy and all this. The other, like, we're not trying to hurt each other either, right? Like, we all have a lot of respect for each other, and nobody's looking at this as an opportunity to be like, you know what I could do is buried Justin's in squat volume, so his knees messed up for the season. It's like, look, you don't want to be like, if you got a thing that's even a little bit off, like, let us know, and we'll try to protect it wherever we can, because it's not, this is meant to be fun. It's meant to be a cool opportunity. It's supposed to be exciting for fans and something new. And the last thing we want is for it to end with, like, now somebody can't compete at their next major event because of decisions made here, right? Like, at the end of the day, it's fun and there's banter, but, like, we want everybody to be good and be healthy and have a good time.
So at the end of the weekend, I'm going to let BKG start. What is going to be the split of points? How many points are y'all going to earn, and how many is North America going to earn, and then vice versa?
So, yeah, we got 13.
How many event wins?
Total,
you could do it that way.
Yeah, we got 13 total points. There are some events that have 2 points. Honestly, I think it's going to be very tight, and I hope that in the last event, it's all or nothing. So maybe if the point spread will be something like 6-6 before the last one, I feel like that will be. We should try to make it that way. Fix the competition even.
Oh, the wheels are turning now.
No, I think it's going to be tight over the weekend. To be honest, I think so.
I think there's things we don't know how the last event works either. We know it's 2 points, but does that mean it's like a 2-part workout with 1.1 point, or just one workout with 2 points? So you don't know, right? I think it's going to be a 7-6 finish, but that's because we're going to have 7 going into the final, and we're just going to stand there, fucking hold up the number 1. You guys can work and win the event, and then still lose the weekend.
But Pat, yesterday you said you were going to try to get a clean sweep on day 1. Are you retracting that statement?
I don't think we can because of the lift. I don't think a sweep exists on day 1. Maybe day 2.
To be fair, yeah. Anytime you have gi and Tia lifting, I assume that's what the order is going to be. It's kind of an ace in a hole. Is there any other? Before I let you go, is there any one of these tests in particular you're looking forward to? Because there is an aspect of getting to try and approach programming from a different perspective in the team format that you don't always get to do outside of maybe Wodapalooza.
For me personally, I'm going to be doing bunch of CrossFit, bunch of normal stuff. But I'm excited to see how we work together on the second workout of the day, the worm. I just kind of like that, everything can go to shit, just be honest, because of we're all individuals. Communications need to be in order. I feel like we did a good job yesterday, and I'm excited to see how that one is going to play out for us tonight.
Yeah, for sure.
I think there's kind of 2 ways to answer it too. Is there something you're really excited to see versus do? I'm excited to see the spotlight challenges. I think all of them are pretty cool. To be honest, I think that the lifting and the monostructural are going to be more exciting to watch than the gymnastics, because I think the gymnastics is just it's hard to know where people are. It's less obvious where the race is, whereas heavyweights are exciting, and the monostructural, you'll see the race really closely the whole time, which will be that's just going to be a very gripping and exciting event. And I think to do, I don't know, there's lots of, it's a kind of too bad, because a lot of the events are very fun. They look fun to try and do, but you can't do them all.
Yeah.
So you go and you're sitting in the planning room going oh man, I'd really like to have a crack at this. It'd be fun. But, you got to have honest conversations and look at the whole weekend and be this one's just not for me. I don't know. We had to make some calls like that. And there was a few people that left the meeting yesterday a little bummed, being man, I would have liked to do that workout. I get why I'm not, but it's too bad. It would be really sweet. I think the teamwork stuff is just, that's what's novel and fun for us. So we're going to, I'm doing event 1 today.
Yeah, me too.
So I'm excited to do that.
So we get to see you both right out of the gate.
So I'm excited to do that one. I think that'll be a fun one to do.
All right. So book it. First event. BK and Pat on the team for that first workout that they're rolling out. Yeah.
No.
All right. Well, we're gonna let you guys go get ready and chill for the rest of the day. So thank you guys for taking the time to catch up with us today. Pat Vellner, Bjorgvin, Karl Gudmundsson, 2 of your captains for the TYR Cup. Thanks, guys, again, and good luck this weekend.